Hi, my name is Jeremiah Ozuna, and today our topic we'll be discussing is called placer deposits. I'm in your class, Physical Geology, 1403, BO2, and my professor is Dr. Ravinda Ganigram. So some questions that I'm going to be discussing about placer minerals are: what are placer minerals? Different types of placer minerals. What is the gold rush of 1848? What are the minerals that can be found all over the world? And what techniques can geologists use to extract the most minerals? And how has that changed in 150 years? So the first question that we're going to be discussing is, what are placer minerals? And these are essentially minerals that pile or stack up in places such as streams, oceans, sand dunes, mountains, essentially anywhere that has any downhill water or wind. And so these are different types of placer mineral deposits. So here we have a high area that is rich in minerals, and going downhill we have more minerals going down. That's called transient placer. And then a place where it's flat and everything subsides is called a terminal placer. Now this is a different kind of placer here in itself. We have an ocean. In that ocean we have waves that are coming into contact with the shore. And now the shore has strong and weak points, and in those weak points we see a lot of gatherings of minerals, such as this place and this place. And in pictures C, D, and E, we just see a zoomed in picture of what a real life situation would be for these placer minerals. And in picture E, you see the buildup of diamonds under these dunes. And picture F just describes how they were buried. And it was buried through buried fluvial channel. And this last picture is essentially the same as this picture. It's just a different example going into a stream. So our next topic is the types of placer deposits. This is going to be more in general, more specific, sorry. We have residual placers, which is essentially at the top of a mountain or top of a hill that is rich in minerals. And from this place, residual placer, it goes down to an alluvial placer, which is just a downhill process of transporting minerals. Alluvial placers is the same thing, but it has to do with water, so any rivers or streams going downhill that carry minerals. We have beach placers that are at beaches, waves collecting minerals and such. And then we have alluvian placers, which has to do with wind, so anywhere from a desert to any other place that can collect minerals and rocks and dirt and travel them from a distance is called the alluvian placer. And the last one is referred to as a paleo placer, which is basically just fossils placer. And these can be found mostly in paleo river systems. So what is the gold rush of 1848? As you know, we had some settlers that found gold, and with that the exploration of California came to be. So as you can see in this picture, they discovered gold in mountains, streams, rivers, dips, and oceans. And that's just a perfect example of the different types of placers that we find here. So this is known as a residual placer. These three are known as eluvial and alluvial placers. And this last one right here is known as an ocean placer. Now, how would they dig up these minerals? As you can see here, you can either pan it out, which is what you see this guy doing, or you can dig it up and run it through some water, and that's how you'd find gold. And like I said, they flooded California in 1848 to find this gold, this popular mineral. Now, minerals that can be found all over the world. Obviously, there are a lot more minerals than these right here, but these are just the ones that I'm going to be discussing today. So in the United States alone, we can find a lot of silver, lead, zinc, and bauxite. And obviously all over the world you can find a lot more, but that's just in the US. And the reason why this Pangea is up on my presentation today is because it shared a new idea. So scientists and geologists all over the world questioned while there are some minerals that are spread out all across the world. And the idea that came to be was that there was a Pangea a long time ago that connected all these continents together. And in this Pangea, we see big placer mineral deposits and placer mineral transportation all over these continents. And whenever they separated, that's how it came to be. And that one mineral that they were discovering was called monazite. And in this picture we see Archean and Protozate granites, but we also see monazite bearing placers, which is this pinkish and purple areas here. And monazite can be found in India, Australia, South Africa, Madagascar, United States, Brazil, and Egypt today. So some of the techniques that geologists used back then were obviously handmade, so shovels, pickaxes, a little bit of panning here and there. But as technology and machines came to be, we now use bulldozers and machines called a bucket wheel. And essentially how this extracts minerals, this bucket wheel, is that it goes to a place where it's high in minerals, a placer deposit, and they run it through this machine that separates the rocks from the minerals and the boulders from the minerals, and they run it through some water and run it through a sand hopper, which separates the minerals from the dirt. And that is my presentation. I hope you learned something today about placer minerals, and I hope you can apply this in your near future. Thank you so much. And this is my works cited page. Everything that I got from are from these websites. Thank you so much.